Hey gang, it's me, Father Hill. Today is Good Friday, and the most obvious question people always ask is what's so good about the day that Jesus died? Jesus died the death of a criminal, though he was an innocent and perfect human being. And there is nothing good about that, those particular facts. The name Good Friday comes from more of a theological rendering of not what happened to Jesus so much as what his death accomplishes. And there's a lot of argument over what that even means. Some people think that it means that Jesus' death um, purchased forgiveness from a God who would require the blood of a sacrifice in exchange for forgiveness. And still a very popular and common way of understanding Jesus' death. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time understanding how a loving God would require blood in exchange for forgiveness. Um, you know, I'm a big fan of John Prine, and John Prine died of COVID a few days ago, and I've been listening to John Prine nonstop. And his most famous song is about a man who came back from war in Vietnam, and he was addicted to morphine. It's called Sam Stone. And the chorus goes, "There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes. And Jesus Christ died for nothing, I suppose." In an article written by Rolling Stone, John Prine told Rolling Stone that he was reaching for the most hopeless line he could possibly compose, the most unimaginably hopeless thing he could say is that Jesus Christ died for nothing. And John Prine actually was a person of faith and didn't believe that at all, but he said that that was the most hopeless thing he could think of. The way that I understand Good Friday is that it's not so much paying a price in exchange for forgiveness so much as it is a statement of God's unconditional love and God's unconditional rebuke against oppressive and violent systems of power that run roughshod over and destroy God's creation. So the very empire that sent Sam Stone to war, the very power-hungry influences that gave rise to Sam Stone's need for morphine in the first place, the folly of that violence and the folly of that empire, that's what Jesus Christ died to expose. So Jesus Christ didn't die for nothing. Jesus Christ, among all many reasons, died to show the extreme and the extent of God's love for us, but also to expose the folly of warmongering empires that would send Sam Stone into a hopeless life. There is a different life. There is a hopeful life in the light of God's way, in the walking the way of love, the way that Jesus commanded his disciples at the Last Supper, the way that he told them to love one another, the way he washed their feet, the way he offered himself for them. And though none of us are Jesus Christ, and we certainly can't rise to that level, we can vibe with it. We can take part in the life that comes to us through the power of the Spirit when we follow in this new commandment, this new way of love. And that is why this Friday is good, because death isn't the end. Death only reveals to us that we are so much more than just our physical bodies. And that's a promise that gives me hope. It's a promise that helps me make sense out of the madness of the world around me. So I hope it gives you some hope. And if you want to talk or if you need prayers today, please don't hesitate to be in touch. God bless you.